Now, all the media people and these Democrats want to change the narrative from the fact that they lied about Trump Russia collusion for 2 years. And so they're focusing all this energy on obstruction of justice. So I wanted to talk a little about obstruction of justice and how they're trying to define it. They're saying that Trump didn't actually have to commit obstruction. He just had to intend to commit obstruction. Even if it wasn't successful, it'd still be a crime. And that is true. Even if you attempt to flush drugs down the toilet, but the toilet backs up and they don't go, that's still obstruction. You tried to do it. So I'm not disagreeing with them. Now, I think that Trump didn't have corrupt intent and he never did commit obstruction and he's innocent of all that. But one of the ways they're also saying it's not just investigations into Trump himself, but also against those that he had a particular interest in protecting. If he attempted to obstruct in any way with them, then that would be a crime. And they say ways that he could have done that was by suggesting firing Robert Mueller, or by tweeting angry things that said, oh, this person's bad, or this investigation's a witch hunt, or saying that he wanted the investigation to end and things like that. That's all potential obstruction because it was affecting how people might testify and things of that nature. So my question is this. I disagree with all that, by the way, but let's take them for their word that all these people in the media and these Democrats that are saying that are being honest, that that's what they believe. Okay, so if we accept their definition, my point is that these same Democrats and media people and people in the intel community like James Comey are actually currently committing obstruction of justice right now. And here's why that's the case. There are two investigations going into the start of the Russia investigation right now. There's one by the Inspector General Horowitz, and then there's another by a counsel working for the Attorney General named Huber. Both of them are looking at things like Strzok and Page and whether the start of the Russian investigation was legit. They're looking into leaks that came from the FBI to media people that were illegal and all sorts of things like that. So possible people that could be being looked at right now are Democratic politicians and people in the Obama administration that could have been involved in shadiness, people in the media that could have been involved in shadiness, getting illegal leaks and having favors in order to get these illegal leaks, people in the intel community that were doing these leaks and whether or not they behaved in corrupt manners leading into the Russia investigation. Yet these same three groups of people, right, are constantly complaining. There's no crime. This is ridiculous. It's a Trump conspiracy theory. How dare his Attorney General Barr come out and say that there was spying against Trump? This is ridiculous. This means that Barr should have to resign. This proves that he's a conspiracy theorist. He's terrible. He needs to go. Wait a minute. They're suggesting getting rid of the person that's at the head of these two ongoing investigations into groups that they have an interest in protecting and standing up for? Well, that sounds exactly like what Trump's accused of, doesn't it? I mean, Trump never did fire Mueller. He just suggested it. He publicly said that he should go. He publicly said it was a witch hunt. He publicly said that this was lies. And all of that's used as evidence that, Trump obstructed justice. Now, media people, FBI people, and Democrats are under investigation by Huber and Horowitz that the Attorney General Barr's in charge of those investigations. And all of these people, media people, intel people, and Democrats are saying Barr's terrible, Barr needs to go, there was nothing shady that went on, and they're constantly voicing their opinion about how terrible this investigation is. Now, do I think what the Democrats are doing is obstruction by tweeting or going on the media and saying all this, that Barr needs to go and these investigations are crap and it's all conspiracy theory? No, I don't think that is obstruction of justice. But I also don't think that Trump engaged in obstruction of justice by saying he wanted to fire Mueller and by tweeting all this stuff about how it was a witch hunt and was garbage. If you believe what Trump did was obstruction of justice, then that same interpretation would apply to the current investigations ongoing right now about media people, intelligence agency people, and Democratic politicians that may have been involved in corruption leading into the Russia investigation in the get-go. You can't have it both ways. But this is the way the Democrats in power and the media, their media lapdogs, and the intel people have been operating for years. For example, they're the same people that tell you Don Jr. meeting to try to get dirt from Russians, even though he didn't actually get that dirt. That's terrible and that's treasonous and that's worth charging him for conspiring with a foreign agent. But Hillary Stream paying for and actually getting dirt sourced from Kremlin agents, that's okay. That's somehow different. Or how about this, Jim? Trump tweeting and things like that, that's obstruction of justice. But Hillary destroying subpoenaed evidence that was subpoenaed by Congress, that's not obstruction of justice. So the double standards are ridiculous. My point is, they're trying to and it's all an attempt to deflect. Never forget that. That's all this is. A naked attempt at deflection. They're not interested in justice or the truth. They're just spinning. They got caught lying for 2 years about Russia collusion, and so without apologizing or anything, they move on to the next thing. So now they're trying to broaden the definition. Trump, in an investigation of a crime that he was innocent of. They're saying obstructed justice because he was furious that it was used to stymie his candidate or his administration and probably cost the Republicans the 2018 election. But for him being upset about that and saying, I want this to end, even though he was innocent, that's obstruction. But when they do the same thing, when it's now going to bite them, these investigations that are ongoing now, they're going to start to come out and they're saying, no, get rid of Barr. No, these investigations are crap. This is all witch hunt. This is all conspiracy theories led by Trump. That's okay. They don't think that is obstruction. So it's just ridiculous. It's another thing. It's a double standard that I thought was worth pointing out. So, hey, if you like this video, I'll be putting out new material. Probably take tomorrow off because it's Easter, though. Who knows? But thanks, everyone. Like and subscribe, and have a good one.